guys, welcome to today's episode of Zoo School. I'm here to introduce you to our white-tailed deer herd. So here with me we have Fiona. I'm sure you've seen deer around your area. Deer are native to New Jersey, and you can find them all across the United States and in parts of Canada and South America. They can live to about 25 years old in captivity, but that number is unknown, but much less in the wild. That's because they have diseases that they can get, human interference, and they have some predators who they have to look out for. So they are a prey species. They're constantly on the lookout for any threats or dangers that might be around. They, as you can see on Fiona here, the underside of their tail is white, and they use their tail as a form of communication. So if she sensed right now that there's some sort of danger, her tail pops up and that would reveal the white underside, and that kind of signals to the others that there is a danger. And when they flee from whatever that threat is, they use the white to kind of find each other to keep the herd together. And as you've probably seen, male deer grow antlers. If you're lucky enough to be here in the winter time, you can see our two bucks, which are male deer that live out in the savannah, and you'll see that they have big antlers. And the male deer grow them, and they have them in full growth in breeding season, and they use them to fight with other males and establish dominance in the herd. And then once breeding season is over, their testosterone in their body drops, and that enables them to drop or shed their antlers every year, and then they start to regrow them again. Yeah. So normal coloration in a white-tailed deer will be like Fiona here. They'll be brown with a white tail. And the first thing you'll probably notice with our deer herd here at the zoo is that some of them are white. Okay guys, as I mentioned, some of the deer here in our herd are white. And a lot of people tend to think that because they're white, that means they're albino, but that is not the case. Our deer here at the zoo are leucistic. So an animal that is albino will be white like our deer here at the zoo, but they lack the ability to produce melanin, which is the pigment in your body that gives us a lot of the brown and black colors that you'll find. So the main difference between albino and leucistic is the animal's eyes. So you'll see on Cotton here that he has coloration in his eyes. If he was albino, you'll see that his eyes would be either pink or red, and that's because without the production of melanin, the iris is not colored, so that allows you to see the blood vessels in the eye, which would give it a red or pink tint. Leucistic animals, on the other hand, they have colored eyes, and their body cannot produce more pigments than just melanin. So it's still, they'll have the white color, but their eyes will be colored. And then you'll see some of the deer here at the zoo, they have a mix of white and brown, and those are what we call piebald. So what that is, it's a form of leucism, except it's parts of the body that can't produce the pigment. It's clusters of cells, so you'll have a white animal, but they'll have spots of brown, or you'll have a brown animal with spots of white. Makes for a really pretty animal. As you'll see on this guy here, I mentioned the antlers earlier, so he is starting to regrow his antlers. So they'll start to grow as little nubs like this, and they'll keep growing very quickly. And they're covered right now in this kind of velvet material, and as they get bigger, when the hormones change, the velvet will actually fall off, and that'll give the appearance of bone like a normal antler that you're used to seeing. Hi guys, thanks for following me into our Llama and Alpaca yard. I am here right now with Edith. Edith is a young elk. She came to us when she was about 4 months old from Six Flags Great Adventure, and right now she's living here with our llamas and alpacas until she's big enough to go into our bison yard. Now let's talk about our llamas and alpacas. These are our two llamas that live here at the zoo, Trixie and Barbie. Llamas and alpacas are actually New World Camelids. New World Camelids consist of llamas, alpacas, and their two wild counterparts. They are closely related to camels, which are Old World Camelids. alpacas were domesticated from their wild counterparts for use for milk and fleece. Both of their fleece is able to be used for yarn and clothing by humans, although alpaca fleece is known to be much more soft and more valuable than that of a llama. As you can see, these alpacas here are a little fluffy right now. That's because they grow more fleece in the winter time to keep themselves warm. And as it gets a little warmer here, they will be sheared, basically just like giving them a haircut to get that excess hair off so that they don't overheat in the summer. Llamas and alpacas do look very similar, but there are some easy ways to tell them apart. The first being size. Alpacas, as you can see here, they average about 150 pounds, whereas llamas can grow to be up to 400 pounds. Llamas have much longer ears than alpacas, and they also have a longer face, as I'm sure you could see when we were meeting Trixie and Barbie. One of the first impressions that people have about llamas and alpacas is that they spit. And while that is true, they generally do not spit at humans. They use it as a form of communication to warn the others when they're mad and to tell them to get away. As I mentioned, the llamas and alpacas get sheared every year. It's still a little too cold for them to be sheared this year. So my challenge for you today is to show us your fluffiest jacket, just like the llamas and alpacas.